Welcome to TrailManners, the podcast so dedicated to mountain trails and running that they broadcast out of a 78 Volkswagen bus in the mountains. Who does that? Eric and Joel are your hosts and will bring you the trail life as you may have not heard it before. You hear about everything from gear reviews, nutrition to keep you upright and moving forward, and they'll even bring guests into the bus for conversations that you won't hear anywhere else. It's time for some running adventures on a higher elevation. The old 78 Volkswagen bus is fired up and headed to the mountains. Here are your hosts for TrailManners, proudly representing the 801 with their passion and love for the trails, Eric Manning and Joel Hatch.
Welcome to the TrailManners podcast, number 67. Today, we're going to be talking again with Turd'l Miller. So if this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The TrailManners podcast is produced every week for enjoyment, and show notes are found at trailmanners.com. Come back often, and please feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at TrailManners. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get after it. All right, here we are again in Bomber Studio.
Yep.
Late night edition.
It is.
It's in the evening time. And as you heard from the intro, we've got our first three-time champion. I'm going to call him a champion because three-time champion just sounds good altogether. But it is Turd'l Miller, so that's who's with us tonight.
So champion would be stretching there.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. But yeah, so Turd'l joined us. It's Outdoor Retailers time here in the beautiful state of Utah, and he rolled up in his new rig. Had the kids running, chasing him down with the free candy neon sign flashing in the back, like the ice cream man. But he forgot the tacos.
That's what we'll forgive him.
We'll let it slide.
He did bring in some spoons, though.
Yeah, he brought Joel 2 spoons.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that.
He's gonna need he needs spoons.
He needs spoons.
Needs some spoons so I can spoon with Luke.
Yeah, Joel likes to spoon, I guess is what that means. So
I just got a message earlier today that Luke Nelson got to spend the night at Joel's house, and I figured they needed some spoons to be able to cuddle tonight. So I brought him a couple of nice, cute little spoons.
They're cute.
They're not very cute. They're big spoons too, aren't they? Well,
that is a big spoon. I can eat a lot of ice cream with that spoon.
I was gonna say
large and girthy.
Yes, large and girthy.
When you brought the spoon, I was like, ice cream. It's ice cream. He didn't bring tacos. He brought some sundaes or something. But
hot fudge sundae would be all right now.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Taco shop was closed.
Yeah, right. It was. It's not like midnight or anything.
No, but we do have some tasty beers tonight.
Yeah,
very tasty.
Joel has some Lagunitas.
Well, I don't. I found it. I procured it.
he found it somewhere.
We have a beer sponsor right here. Who is the beer sponsor today?
Ned Witterbottom and Hootie Beavis. Now, these are two of my clients. These are their aliases, but they have a keg of Lagunitas.
Wow.
So I called them up, said, guys, we're doing this podcast tonight. Pour me some beer. So they brought me a growler, and that's what we're enjoying.
Nice. So thanks, Ned. And what's the second one?
Hootie. Yeah.
Hootie and Ned. I just
Hootie
like
and
the
Ned.
sound of that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good sponsor for the show, just Hootie and Ned.
Tasty beverages.
Yeah.
So, Luke, let's, sorry, Turd'l. Because that leads into the next thing. Because how did it feel, like your initial reaction when you found out you were number 2 listened to podcast for 2016?
Well, it made me think, who does number 2 work for? That's the first thing that brought to mind for me. But Luke Nelson is somebody that I've always looked up to in this world. I mean, he's a great guy. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's fast. He's tough. He's all the things I would want if I had boys to be, because he's that guy. I mean, if I was a girl, I'd want to have kids with Luke. He's amazing.
What?
So to be even mentioned in the same breath as Luke is something that I'm very proud of, for sure. And the fact that both of those episodes were recorded in the old Volkswagen is something that
that was fun.
That made me feel pretty good. That was a year ago, wasn't it?
That was a year ago. Exactly a year ago. That was
was.
probably the most fun that I think we've had on the podcast.
Because that was a back-to-back, and that was
back-to-back, and
stuffed
just
in
the
the bus
shenanigans that was going on
There's
off
a few.
mic.
Yeah, there was
Did
a
we
few.
have food? Did we have tacos in the bus that day?
No, we had burritos.
We
I
had
was sitting on
burritos.
the tortillas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
Tortillas.
Yeah, you had
That's right.
we had some tortillas to make some quesadillas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had it all. You had a cup of soup or little ramen cups in the
I know,
back,
right?
and
It was cold.
yeah, it was crazy. That bottle of estrogen caps and all kinds of crazy stuff.
What is estrogen? What is estrogen?
Yeah,
used
nice
for?
try, nice try. Well, so I mean, that's you thought of who does number 2 work for, and I went to Ricky Bobby, and like if you're not first, you're last.
That's right.
You know, so
Yeah.
and then my favorite part was your reply to me. If you remember that, you said, "Oh, Luke's just sitting home downloading it
He
over
is.
and over and over again."
Click. I mean, he just him and his wife and their kids. They're all sitting there on separate computers, clicking. Yeah.
They've got their
Well,
iPads
I don't know
out.
why anyone else would download his show 1,218 times. Not that I've looked at the stats today or anything.
Well, you just went from that's the guy, and now all of a sudden, why would anybody want to listen to him?
I know,
so,
right?
I don't know where we're going here.
Well, my bad.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are some great shows, and we're excited to have you come back down because you're kind of like a regular. You're kind of like the guy that walks at Norm in Cheers that walks in, everybody recognizes.
That's
You're
true.
right now, because you're our third show with us. You're kind of our regular.
You know,
kind of our regular guest.
That's something that I found interesting. I was actually at a race last year that we talked about on Luke's show a little bit. It's John Bozung's Squaw Peak 50, and I was helping out at Packet Pickup just because I was standing there and figured I had nothing else to do. So I was
Right.
standing there handing out shirts, and somebody walks up and they said, "Are you Turd'l?" And it's someone I'd never met before, and I looked at him kind of like you do when someone
Right.
walks up and knows who you are and you don't know who they are. You kind of look at them like,
You're cautious.
"What's my correct answer here?
Yeah.
Yes
Where's
or
my
no
exit?
or whatever."
Especially when they're
Where's
saying,
my exit?
Are
Where's
you
my
Turd'l?
safe spot?
right. I'm looking for the exit. And I said, well, yeah. And I'm used to people that I don't know walking up, but not like asking and not being able to look at me and say, "Are you Turd'l?" And so I said, well, how do I know you? And he says, well, no, but I listen to TrailManners and you sound just like Turd'l. And I went, well, that's because I am, I guess. So I found it amazing that someone I'd never met before recognized my voice from the episode 10. So
Nice. That was
That's
episode 10. That is pretty cool. Because Joel and I get that sometimes. They come
We
up to
do.
us and say, "Are you Turd'l?" And I'm like, "No."
I know.
Yeah.
wow.
we say that right away. We're like, "No,
You know.
we're
No,
not
it's not
Turd'l."
right,
No, but we've heard of him. Yeah, he's kind of a classy dude. So, and the last time we had you on the show was in the summer,
Oh my gosh.
and you decided to because you're from we call it down south,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
it's a little warmer.
The
than
weather's beautiful right now. by the
soft
way.
is the south is soft.
Ran in shorts and a T-shirt 2 days ago.
Well, I did too.
Jim.
Yeah, exactly.
I
On
ran
a
in
track.
shorts and a T-shirt last night in Salt Lake. So
Yeah, it was a little toasty last night.
Yeah,
It was.
We've
Yeah,
been
you're
we've
right,
been
you're right.
above 20 for a while, so it's been
raining.
good. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, last time we had John, we went up to Malin's.
Yep.
We got back into the bus, and we kind of talked a little bit about your Capstone races.
Yep.
Right.
Before they kind of got launched, or maybe it was about the same time we started to launch those because Joe was helping you out with that.
Right.
So for your first year, how did that go? With your races, expectations to how it worked out, what did you learn? I mean, how did that all play for you?
So I kind of, again, Capstone was the first race that I've ever put on by myself. Got a little bit of experience in it with Ultra Adventures crew, great crew. But it was the first time I'd ever put one on by myself. I tendered expectations and hoped that I would cap it at about 50 runners. We got close to that, but I didn't want to go over 50 runners just because I felt like at that point I want to make sure that we've got
Enough bananas?
enough bananas,
Yeah.
and able to handle it because from a simply race support perspective, I know how easy you can outwork your volunteers and how easy
Right.
it is to outwork your ability to support runners. And the last thing in the world I want is to not be able to take care of those guys in the back. The guys in the front, not a problem. They
No.
can run through it. But the
Right.
guys in the back are the guys that really struggle. So I wanted to make sure that we had those. So the race turned out well. We got a course record out of Hayden Hawks, which
That's awesome.
right, no,
Imagine
right.
that. First year course record.
Crushed that course
From
record
Hayden
out.
Hawks.
Yeah, right.
Well, the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he just did a little warm up run that he did in his own backyard before
Yeah.
he went over there to North Face and did what he did there. And
Right.
yeah, the guy crushed it. I mean, he lapped almost everybody. I think there was only one girl, like the girl that won the women's division, Rachel. I think she was the only person he didn't lap.
Wow.
But I could be wrong. He might have lapped her too. But yeah, Hayden went out there and just destroyed it. And it was fun. It was fun to watch him come through and just with a smile on his face. It is in his backyard. He runs that trail every day, and it was a lot of fun to have him out there and very gracious when he won. He hung around till the very end. He and his ladies hung out there the whole time and just kind of cheered other runners on and hung out and it was fun to have him out there. So the race, one thing that I felt is that the race ended up being a little more difficult than I expected it to be.
The course or putting it on?
The course.
Okay.
And I simply base that off of the number of DNFs. I had more DNFs than I would have expected. I just looking at the pre-race, there were a couple of a couple that I thought, that depends on how bad the guy wants it. I mean, I'll stay out there as long as you want me to be out there, but if you decide that you don't want to finish it that day, then I totally can respect that. I've been there and gone. I just don't have it, and so. But I had more people that ended up DNFing that race than I expected.
What was the reason for that? Was it the course itself? Was it the training, the distance?
No, I think it was more. It's the same ratio that I think you get at every race.
Gotcha.
I expected the course to be easier than it ended up being because there was 5,000 feet of elevation gain in the 50K.
Wow.
But that being said,
that'll surprise me right there.
Yeah, right. But that being said, I think some of the people that came into it did it not because they truly wanted to run it, but just I don't know. It was something that I don't know that there were a couple people that weren't adequately prepared, and they knew, but I think they knew that coming in.
Right.
Because
you helped this.
I've been there too.
October, was that right? October,
November. Second weekend in November is when it was. November 12th is what it was. So
what's going to be different this year?
Well, it's going to be on November 11th.
Oh, okay. So that's going to make a difference, right? The elevation's
it'll be a
drop
day
like
earlier
48.
on the calendar.
The DNF rate is either going to go way up or way down.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
So yeah,
11/11.
it'll be November 11th. We got a lot of really good local support out of it, and a lot of really good feedback from Mark Robbins came up to me afterwards and just gave us some really good feedback on how much he'd enjoyed the course and how fun it was for him. So I'm excited to see what 2017 will bring with that race.
So are you capping it at 50 again, or are you going to go a little bit more?
Well,
since it's on the 11th this year.
I think part of it is that we had. I didn't know what kind of volunteers I was going to be able to get out there. Having never put on an event before, I don't necessarily know what volunteers are going to show up. I know I can count on me being there, and I can count on my wife being there. And other than that, you can't until you put on a race and get to know some of the volunteers that want to support that race. You don't know if they're going to show up, and so it turned out really well. And I think we can probably double that cap this year and feel good about it. So
like 80.
50 times 2 is 100.
Gotcha. I was making sure you're awake. Yeah.
Wow. So I think we'll cap it at 100 runners, and hopefully get there. It'll be fun. I'm excited for that one as well.
And it's in St. George, right?
It is. Yep.
And so do you have any sponsors down there that help you out with it?
St. George Running Center is a huge proponent of the racing scene down there. Steve Hooper does a really good job with helping out a lot of the races. He's always been a big supporter of the St. George Marathon. But yeah, he was a huge help in not just in the sponsorship activity side of it, but actually in the personal help that he provided. I mean, he gave me a truck to run around, and he gave us we used the finish line for those guys, and Steve's great. We had a couple other good sponsors. We had Scott Sports that provided some equipment for us. And Creditware gave us some socks and things like that to give out. So we had some pretty good support. Ultraspire gave us a few packs.
That's their hometown.
Yep.
St. George.
Again, same thing. They run it. That's their backyard. Those Bryce and Blair and those guys live literally in the neighborhood that's right there. And Blair came out that day and was there for the finish line for a little while and gave us some packs to give away, and it's always fun to have stuff to give out. Sometimes when you're in the industry, you don't necessarily realize how cool it is to go to a race and get something like that. But handing those out and giving those out to the people that won those packs, that you could just tell how excited and how cool it was that they got that, because it's not something that they already had in in the race kit kind of thing.
So if people that aren't familiar, it's 1 year under the belt. There's a course record, and if somebody if somebody was listening to the show, if there is somebody out there listening to the show right now, how would you sell this to them if they're thinking about it? How would you describe this race?
It's a late season race.
November 11th.
Yeah, November 11th, right? It's not as late as it was last year.
Yeah, right. Day
but,
earlier.
But I think it's still great weather in St. George. Kind of when it starts to get kind of mucky and sloppy and cold up here, it's still kind of warm down there. It's still, it's 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. It allows you to go out and do one last, family trip if you want to, because you can come down and we have camping at the start before the race, camping at the start after the race. You can kind of hang out and make it a family trip if you want, and that's what I envision is it becoming a big end of the year kind of hangout party for those that like to come down and enjoy the outdoors, and it's an amazing, beautiful course. It's not it's not the easiest course on the planet, but it's got some beautiful single track. You're running through the desert. It's going to be probably good weather. Again, I'm not a weatherman. The weathermen are crazy.
It's pretty far out to even try that. Yeah, it's chance of rain.
It's a race that'll be a lot of fun for a lot of people.
And what's the distances for this race? Isn't there multiple?
There are. There's a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a 50K. What we've got, the course is a 10K loop.
So how do you get the 5K?
Is that the one that Hayden has the course record
a separate
on?
course. We do.
Oh, okay.
So Mose Valley is a popular bouldering area in St. George.
World renowned.
And we've got a 5K course that last year we ran it through Mose Valley, but I've got kind of another course that I'm looking at that'll again start finish in the same area, but run you probably over to the Bloomington Hill is kind of what I'm looking at this point. There's some land issues over there. Some of it's owned by the city, some of it's sitless, some of it's so I've got some different things that I've got to figure out with permitting on it. But if I have the ability to do the race I want, it'll run over there on Bloomington Hill, which is some really cool views over Bloomington Golf Course and kind of that side of town. So
now, when will registration probably open up?
Registration is going to open sometime in the next couple of months. I'm not hurrying to do it.
You got to take care of this other event first, right?
Oh yeah, we've got another event that we're looking at. Originally the idea behind the race series is that there's going to be a bunch of races, probably up to 5 races.
That's what this word series would help with.
Yeah, the series would.
Yeah.
But this second year, one of the things that I've kind of decided, and I'm sure we're going to get into that later with the thing I had happen with the Volkswagen and things and whatnot, just kind of put me behind the 8 ball, and I didn't want to rush this and not do it right. And so what I'm looking at is in the second year we're going to expand to a second race. It'll be a night time race.
What's the distance on that? Do you know? Yeah. Roughly.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Give me a ballpark.
I got a course that I went and looked at the other day. There's a 5-mile loop and a 10-mile loop, so I think there might be a couple of loops out there.
All right.
We're going to do it, and I don't have the dates in front of me, but it's middle of August, and it's going to be a night race. It is on a new moon, which makes it the Starry Night race.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's actually Starry Night Run, not race.
Starry Night Run.
Starry Night Run.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it on a new moon because when you're out there in the middle of the desert away from the city, you get amazing views of the Milky Way. I like running at night, whether it's a new moon or whether it's a full moon. The new moon makes it easy because you can run without a headlamp, but the full moon makes it easy because you can run without a headlamp. But the new moon the stars and the views and the things you get in a new moon is just the stars are crazy out there.
That's awesome.
And that's in August, you said?
It's in August, yeah.
When's that? Do you know? Are you looking at what do you call that? Your astrological calendar? I'm looking at seeing if you can. Are you pulling out your moon?
I think it's August 19th, but let's look at the calendar.
Did you have that in a back pocket?
No, I was just sitting on
Turd'l whipped out his massive flip phone.
It's a wallet.
It's plugged in to his
He's got a
bus.
freaking pen on that thing too.
I do. It's a new pen that I'm trying out with it. I don't know if it's going to work.
He's
or
testing it. He's got it at outdoor retailers. He's testing it.
not.
He's going to do a
I'm
gear review.
product testing at outdoor retailers for sure. August 19th. Yeah, I actually nailed the date. August 19th is what it'll be.
So that's going to be the Starry Night.
Starry Night Run. Yeah, as we're currently getting the website up and functioning.
Oh, what's up and functioning?
It's Starry.
And
Yeah.
the actual
Content
Starry
loaded onto
the
the
Starry
website.
Night logo is actually on there right now.
Really? Wow.
See, I'm on it, dude.
So we're working on the website. When we launch the website, should be in the next 2 to 6 months. I'm guessing somewhere.
Joel's like, I'm ready if you'd actually give me
Dude,
content.
Come on, man. Just give me the content.
So we're gonna get some content up on the website, and it'll get launched. And,
All right, there we go.
Probably about the time that this episode goes live, I'm guessing.
No.
Not that soon. Not that soon.
Not that soon.
So what's your plans for that one? What's your hopes for the Starry? I like saying Starry Night. So I'm going to say that a few more times.
logo.
Again, it's a 50. It's there's probably I'm probably just gonna do the one distance in it with the 5
10
mile.
miles?
The 5 mile. And again, the issue is it's literally right along the border. So if we run the 5 mile, then we're just dealing with Utah. If we run the 10 mile, then we have to permit through Arizona.
That could be interesting.
Do you have
which
to
could
get
be
that through
interesting,
Trump?
could be difficulty.
Because it's a border thing?
It's
Do you
a
have
border
to-
thing. There might
We
be a
do.
wall
there
there.
might be a wall.
Yeah.
There
There might be a wall.
Yeah.
Right. It could be.
better-
That might be part of it. We could Starry Night wall climb.
That'd be fun.
There you
That
go.
would be fun, wouldn't
There
it?
you go.
Nobody else
snipers.
is doing that.
Get some snipers out.
Yeah.
Right?
Shoot.
Some of that barbed wire that
Turn it into a little
circles.
mini Barkley out there.
Yeah, exactly. We could do that. The Starry Barkley.
Starry Barkley.
The Starry sniper.
So no, it kind of depends on permitting. If I can get the permit easily enough through Arizona, then we'll add that second distance. But I envisioned it as one distance, but we'll just have to see.
That's cool. That'd be fun.
And that's kind of why it's a run, not a race, because I want it to be something where we go out and have fun and run at night, and not be like.
So you need to be
Like
okay. If it's going to be a run and not a race, then anybody can go do it.
Starry fun run.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not fun.
I couldn't hear you because you didn't have the microphone anywhere near your mouth.
But I don't imagine it as a fun run, because a fun run is there's no one that. I don't know. I mean, every run's fun, right?
It's got to be a race if you're going to charge people.
Starry fun
Right?
race.
Well, but Hard Rock's not a race; it's a run.
It's a race. I don't
No,
care what
Hard
they say.
Rock's a run.
I don't care what they say. I'll go down there and
That's
I'll put my
fine.
foot down. That's a race.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
If
It
you're
is a
paying
race.
people,
if there's
you get a
winners,
bid. If you've got a
there's
bid,
winners,
it's a race.
If there's winners, there's a race.
Exactly. Thank
Right?
you very much.
If
I don't
there's
care
winners,
what they
there's
say.
a
So
race.
if anyone out there wants to go to hardrock100.com, is it hardrock.com, hardrock100.com, and look and tell me what it says out there. I believe it says Hard Rock Endurance Run.
It does.
It does.
But
Right.
It's a run because you're running.
if you've
but
got
it's
a bib
race
on,
'cause
it's a straight up race.
Okay.
yeah, because it
Well, then
even
we're going to
says race.
disagree, because
Yeah.
I believe it's a run, not a race.
I don't care. That's some old school nonsense.
That
It's a
is.
race.
Yeah, it's an R word. There's a winner. I mean, if you're
Yeah, if there's
you're
a winner, it's a race.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because otherwise, it's just a run. I can
Exactly.
run to the liquor store across the street.
Yes.
But if you want to try and beat me, then we're racing.
That's
We're
right.
racing
Right?
to the liquor store.
See
That's
how that
right.
works?
I didn't really actually believe that there was a liquor store across the street, by the way.
There
And I
is.
pulled in, I was like, there is actually a liquor store. Like, holy crap, there's a
know.
liquor store.
And there's a cigarette
How
store.
do you get any work done?
Oh, dude, the parade of
Oh,
characters.
because they're only here from 10 to 7?
The
is that
parade
what
of
day it's open?
characters that walk through from, because there's a plasma center right over here where people donate plasma.
Oh, for real?
And then they get money and they come over to Czech City, which is right there, and then they go over either to the cigarette store or the liquor store.
That's why I'm usually lightheaded by the time
That
I start
Czech
recording.
City makes a pile of money.
They do. They crush it. Yeah, it is just awesome, especially in the summertime when all the bums are in town.
Oh, yeah.
They
Like
get off.
me.
They get off the train. They,
Bums like me.
They somehow they wander up here, and oh man,
Because we're not down by the train station.
No, we're
we're
not
on
at
the
all.
wrong side of town for the
Yeah.
train station.
We're actually almost on the cusp of like the good side of town.
Those bums have to make an effort to come up here and donate plasma,
Yep.
and then go to Czech City to get some booze. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they can't just stand They can't just stand on the on-ramp and then go over and give plasma.
No,
and-
they got to
and
be
during their
proactive.
breaks,
Th-
right.
These are the bums that are ambitious.
They're working.
Yeah.
These are
They're
the working man
bums.
bums.
working
Yeah.
man bums. All right.
That's what they are. So.
Well, if not by the grace of God, there go I.
Yep.
I think that's how it's said.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll let you have that one. I'm not even going to Google it. I don't have time for that nonsense. So, all right. So you got your second year coming up for the Capstone.
Yep.
It's 11-11-17.
Yep.
And you actually get the same amount of time to train because it is a leap year. So you get that extra day. So there's plenty of time to train, just like last year.
Yep.
And we're announcing year this year.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You get
Oh,
to
it's
announce
year
it now.
last year.
No.
What?
No. It's only every 4.
Yeah.
I get you're not a weatherman, but he's getting his flip phone out
He's
again.
getting his
Come on,
phone
it's
out.
not leap year
Is
this
that a
year.
BlackBerry?
Leap year's no.
Sorry, that was a
Is that
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry?
Go ahead and look on your calendar. I'm looking.
Okay,
right at-
well there you go. February 2017 only has 28 days.
Huh. That's super
Oh
weird.
my gosh, Becky.
What does that mean?
That means there's only 28 days. That means it's not a leap year this year.
Huh. You sure? I thought it was. Isn't it? Anyways, change the
Anyways.
subject. That got really boring
The
fast.
show just
Sorry
got
about
really
that.
stale.
It
there.
died right
Sorry
there
about
too.
that.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry
All
about
right,
that.
let's.
No,
let's
so you
pivot.
have one day less to train this year.
So
That's
it's
what we're
harder.
saying. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
harder.
It's harder.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And you're announcing it earlier, so it gives more people time to get ready for it.
Right.
And you're opening more slots
Sure.
this year, so there'll be more people to show
Right.
up.
Exactly.
Especially maybe if people that you know that talk behind microphones show up.
that said they would show up last year. And
There was no confirmation.
Oh,
there
right,
was
right.
There was
You're
a,
right,
I mean,
there was no commitment.
because what was the date on November?
12th.
Okay, so that's that's the same month as my wife's birthday.
Oh, when's your wife's birthday?
No, November.
November-ish.
Yeah, November-ish.
It's October. It's actually October 20th, but it's close, right? It's in within a
November-ish.
30-day
Right.
span,
Yes.
right?
Right.
And so I just didn't want to,
It's almost November. It's almost her. It's just past her birthday.
because we like to
month.
do birthdays like long, not in one day.
No, he's not lying.
So it's like a big thing.
So
It is.
if you buy her a birthday present on November 12th, you didn't actually forget her birthday on
No,
October
it's just
10th.
another one.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just another one.
one.
That's what it is, right?
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to edit this part out, I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
So the
move
other
on
thing that
to
I
the next
want
thing.
to, we got to figure something out here, and I wanted to have more ammunition before we came on the show, but I've kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of just play with this a little bit, right? So you like to say that suck it, right? 'Cause
Oh.
Hashtag suck it Northern Utah.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I want to come up with a little north because I told you I
Pile of
said
that crap outside right
and
now.
I
that I'm looking
I
at. It's
hashtag
cold.
back and I was like the South is soft.
Right, and I'm the only one
Ooh,
not
I like
sitting
the
here in a
South.
puffy right now.
That's right.
South is
Right.
soft.
The South is soft,
The
but I'm the only
South
one
is
sitting here
soft.
not in a puffy right now.
Well,
Yep.
because we like to wear them. You're in Ogden.
They
This
are
is what
stylish.
people in Ogden wear, right? I mean, this is what we do.
Right.
We got the.
I can go get the space here and bring it over here, you big sissy.
You need that. You need that. You need the willy warmer.
I don't want to know what that is.
You don't. That's a
You
bomber
don't.
thing. But so that's what I'm coming back. When you post those things, I'm coming back with the softest South.
Give me a puffy.
The South is soft.
Right.
All right. Because I don't like the suck it Northern Utah.
I don't
thing.
either. I don't
I
either. I
love
wish you
it.
guys would just all move to Southern Utah.
Dude, I'm thinking
and
more
come
like
run with me all the time because that's really what that hashtag suck
Is
it
just
Northern
trying to
Utah is
bring
about.
people down to
it's,
you?
Yeah.
It's a good friend of mine, Craig Lloyd, who I've been working on him for more than 366 days because last year was a leap year to try to get him to
You sure? You
move
wanna pull
to
out your BlackBerry again?
Southern Utah and run because I mean that's the great thing about Southern Utah is we can run literally year round. Even when it snows, we still can run in it. We can
That's
still
weird
run all of our
me
best
and Joe are
trails.
like, man, we can still run here.
we can.
You can't run your best trails though. Have you bagged Malins lately?
No, I haven't.
think
but
actually
a lot of people have.
Malin's probably be pretty good right now.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
Once you get past the junk show of the first like half mile,
Right.
that's just slush and punch. It'd probably be pretty good.
But see, you guys it gets
Up
too
there
hot
about
where
the-
you're at.
the
though.
spring or something about there would that
Yeah,
would be good?
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
anything below that might be just total junk.
But you need like micro spikes or something, right? I mean, I don't
No,
know.
that's-
What do you
those
guys
are
run
for
with in
sissies.
the winter up here?
Yeah.
What do you
That's
do
what
with? What are you doing? How do you guys run down there? Do you guys do things differently?
We put on shoes
yeah, I don't
So do
know.
we.
and shorts,
So do we.
Yeah, I wear those.
and we don't wear beanies.
I don't
Or
wear beanies
puffies.
all the time. Like ever? I bet I could go down there today and there'd be someone in a
Oh,
beanie
somebody
and a
would be wearing
puffy.
a puffy today.
Yeah, but they're probably from northern Utah.
I bet they're
no,
not
because
they're in the
Utah
South.
person be in their thong.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. They would be. They'd be in their thong and their flip flops.
That's right.
Right? That
No.
way.
Thong
And-
Uggs.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that's
now
pretty.
we're talking about thongs on the show.
I told you to bring your thong. Did you not get my text?
I did not bring my thong. I apologize.
Whatever.
I'd be sitting here in it though. You guys would love it.
I bet you have like a whole part of this bus dedicated to the thong.
I don't.
Gosh, I got this strong visual. I'm really kind of.
A strong one too. All right, so let's get into that. We just brought it up again. Your new ride.
All right.
Right.
What happened
So
to the old one?
The old ride,
Yeah.
which is where the thong currently resides. By the way.
Okay, that's why.
If
that's
you're
why it
wondering about
wrecked.
the thong, you can go to Aravipa, or is it Aravipa or Mountain Outpost? Mountain Outpost did a beer mile.
Yep.
And they shot a video, and that video has me not in a thong, but in a leopard print Speedo.
Which is close enough when you start running.
Well,
It gathers.
That started the creep, didn't it?
I just got to say that is one of my most favorite, one of the races I'm most proud of in my life because I crushed the ultra male runner of the year.
Yes, you did.
By cutting his time in half.
Oh yeah. Walmsley could not keep up.
Walmsley ran a 22:19, and I ran an 11:22. So I almost cut his time in half.
I hope you have a plaque.
I'm gonna make one.
We're gonna get you one.
I'm gonna
We're
make
gonna
my
get
own.
you one, and
Because
we're gonna
I'm telling
bronze
you,
a thong on it.
When he finished his first beer and ran, gapping. I mean, he passed me after I'd finished my second beer and was running, and I thought, "Holy crap, Jim Walmsley! He must be finishing right now." No, he was running his first lap.
Wow. So he's not a beer. Is he? It's not a beer guy.
Jim cannot drink beer.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
he's
he
skinny.
likes to drink beer.
Yeah.
But he can't consume it. He doesn't have the technique of being able to drink beer quickly, and
It
that's
just
something.
comes with time.
He's
Right.
He's not old enough. He's not experienced enough yet.
26.
Yeah.
He's barely legal to drink beer.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he used to be
I
in
think
the
we ought to
military,
get Jim
right?
Walmsley on this show. What do you think about that?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I
would
think
give
we
him.
can accept that.
Yeah, we'd give him some beer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna give a shout out to Jim Walmsley and say, Jim Walmsley, you need to be on the TrailManners podcast.
Yeah.
Right. That'd be
Okay.
fun.
Okay,
I'll
we'll
sit
work on
around,
that.
drink beer.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
Because
was.
we had number 2 Ultra Runner of the Year last year, right? Didn't you have Browning on here
yeah,
last year?
yeah, we had Browning.
Yeah,
we had
Browning
some
was
of
on
the top
here.
5. We had Browning.
Rookie
and,
of the Year was on too. Hayden.
Yeah, Hayden.
Yeah.
We nominated him Rookie of the
Yeah,
Year.
he
by
pretty
the way.
much got
I
Rookie
heard-
of the Year.
I
Because he wasn't top 10, which to us that was a little surprising.
Yeah.
Overall, I think he was stout enough to be in there, but he was kind of a new name. Came on
Still
at the end of
should've
the
been.
year.
He
Oh, I
should've been
totally
top
agree.
5.
I totally agree.
Come on. He should have been top 5.
I totally agree. But we had who else do we have on out of the top 5? We had Ian Sherman was on too.
That's right.
So
He
we had
was
a
on.
couple. Yeah, it was
And
our
didn't you have Magda too?
No, we
Not
never
yet.
got
Who'd
to
you have
talk
on?
to her.
Who'd you have from the women's side? Didn't you have a women?
not
one
in the
of
top. Not in the
No, we
top
didn't.
5.
No.
Not in the top
For
5.
some reason, we're strong with the dudes. Not sure why yet.
Joel said that. For
Don't
the
want to
record.
know. Don't want to know.
Joel said that for the record. For the record.
Why'd you look at my junk when I said that? Why'd you go there?
At least you're not at the pizza place.
Yeah,
Today.
that's right.
It's a puffy.
So tell us. Let's. So.
Were we talking
where
about
are
your
we?
ride?
Yeah.
Oh
your
yeah,
ride.
the boat
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So all right. In late October, I was in Phoenix, Arizona. Went down to Javelina. Love Javelina. It's one of my favorite events to go to. They have an aid station there called Jackass Junction,
Right.
which is run by the biggest jackass you've ever met on the planet, Justin Ludig. An amazing, amazing individual. He is so much fun. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. And this year, I was going to go out and hang out with Justin Ludig at Jackass Junction the whole time. And literally, I live every 365 days, you get to run through Jackass Junction if you run Javelina. And it
Okay.
is the most amazing aid station at about somewhere between 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. When you run through Jackass Junction, it will be the place that you look back and say, that is the spot I want to be all the time because it's
Yeah.
that much fun. And then
Wow.
and then the next
Wow.
time you run through it, Justin shut down and someone else is in charge, and it's just an aid station.
Oh.
But it's a really, really cool place. So anyway, so I was out there for Javelina and had gone out to the Javelina headquarters and done a demo for Scott Shoes. And then as I was driving back into Phoenix the next morning, I'm driving down the freeway and a vehicle on the other side of the freeway lost a tire that then jumped the median and plowed into the front of my Volkswagen bus. And yeah, destroyed the bus. It's not completely destroyed.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It left a pretty big dent. I'll just put
Yeah,
it that
it
way
did.
in the front of it. So there's a process in repairing a dent that takes a little bit of time, and I was hoping to have it back by Christmas, but very quickly realized that wasn't going to happen, just based on some stuff I was dealing with the insurance company and some other things. And
Did
so,
they total out?
No, they didn't total it out. A vehicle, an older vehicle like that, they will total it out pretty quickly because older vehicles aren't worth money on the blue book or the black book or whatever,
Right.
NADA or whatever.
book they have.
But an older vehicle, a Volkswagen bus like that, a 1989 Volkswagen bus, even though it blue books out at $5,000, if you were to sell that Volkswagen bus in the market, you get $25,000 to $35,000 in decent condition. I mean, if it's in mint condition, you're easily pulling 80. So it's one of those things where they weren't going to give me
What it's worth.
diddly squat what it's worth anyway. So I didn't.
Right.
Anyway. So in dealing with the insurance and those kinds of things, I realized that I needed to have another vehicle, and I'd kind of been in a position where I figured I needed a bigger vehicle anyway. Part of it is just because I've got so many lines that I'm repping for and so many products that when I go on the road I have to be able to take with me, is I just need to have more room in the vehicle. So about a week before Christmas, I walked into the Mercedes-Benz dealer in St. George and bought a, new to me, it's not a brand new Sprinter, but I bought a Sprinter van.
What year is it?
It's a 2011. It's a 170 wheelbase, which means it's a little bit. It's the longer of the two vans that they make, and it's a passenger van as well. So there's seating for 14 in it.
Yowza.
There's room for a stripper pole. I mean,
Sporting for sport.
there's
14.
seating for 14. Like I was saying, I can take the seats out of it.
We can charge entry fee.
So
because
having
downgraded.
a passenger van gives you a couple of advantages. First of all, you can stand up in the thing, which is it's a high top. So versus the Volkswagen bus, which I couldn't stand up in. What it's not is it's not built out. So I don't have a bed in there. I don't have a fridge and a stove and a sink and all those kinds of things in it. But I've also realized that I don't necessarily need those things to go on the road. I can take 14 of those seats out, or 12 of those 14 seats out, and fit lots of products in the back, bikes, helmets, running shoes, all those kinds of things that I take on the road with me, and still be able to build a bed in the back of there that I can sleep in, and then yet take the bed out and put the seats back in if we had a race that I needed to shuttle with.
Or if he has stripper competition.
Right.
It's competition now.
Competition.
It's not a run or a race. It's a
not a
competition.
race.
It's not a race. If it's not a competition, it's not a race.
It's tough
A stripper race.
It's tough
I think
to
a
put
stripper
those
race.
bibs on the strippers.
Right.
This
Right.
show's so bad.
We went from thongs to strippers really quick.
So
Anyway, the Sprinter's parked outside. I'm excited about it.
looks nice, by the way.
It is.
One of the things you deal with a Volkswagen bus is, again, you deal with breakdowns. I'm excited to hopefully not be dealing as much with breakdowns.
Is it diesel? So it's diesel, right?
It's a diesel.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
I get 20 miles to the gallon, so same kind of gas mileage that I was getting in the Volkswagen bus with the ability to tow things as well. So, and hopefully, I mean, a couple of the lines that I represent are bike lines. And although I had plenty of room, had a 5-bike rack that I hung off the back of it. If you're driving in crappy weather, those bikes get muddy and crappy. And
you rep high-end bikes.
Yeah,
You don't rep no Schwinn or
oh
Huffy.
no,
You got
blue,
the blue.
blue and Linus. I've got
Yeah.
a couple of nice bike lines
Yeah.
that I rep for, and I don't really. I had a couple of bikes that were the bikes weren't stolen, but the wheel sets were stolen off the bus while I was sleeping in it one night.
The
and
bus
as
or the
expensive as
bikes?
the bus.
The bikes were stolen
Okay.
off the back of the bus while I was
Right.
sleeping in it in Salt Lake City. Yeah, 2 feet from my head. And
right. You must be a hard sleeper.
You must be.
I actually heard the.
I heard him stealing it, but I was tired.
I kind of heard the spoke. Like when you flick a spoke, you can boing, that little kind of sound, and I kind of heard that. And so I peeked out the back window, and I could count that there were still 5 bikes on the rack, and so I didn't think anything of it, and I just went back to sleep. And what they'd done is I'm just taking my wheel set, which I don't know what they're going to do with a wheel set.
Those things are expensive, dude, right?
They're not. They're not
No?
free. How about that? They're not. They don't give them away. How about that?
Maybe it's like an erector set with with wheels. You can build anything, right?
I guess so.
You could. I got things in my head right now. I just built.
All right.
So keep going.
So yeah. So the sprinter van will allow me to store those bikes inside of it,
And you'd be able to sleep
and
next
keep
to
them
'em.
clean and keep them clean more than
Right.
more than anything is the keeping
Right.
them clean and make it so that I don't have to. I don't feel like I have to wash them off before I take them into a bike shop, which
Right.
you can't do.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's good looking. I mean,
is good
we
looking.
definitely miss the bus because we're kind of partial to those.
I agree.
But
I completely missed the bus. And
So are you
This
going
is
to
like-
resurrect the bus?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's in a body shop right now. It's currently
Wait a minute. It's not the same mechanic that Eric's bus is at because you
No.
won't see it for 2 years.
As long as it doesn't leapfrog mine.
well. Again, some of the parts that were broken on the bus are not easy to repair, not easy to replace. So you have to find another bus
Right.
that they're parting out, and so
Gotcha.
that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I
Yeah.
found a bus that they're parting. He's not parting out. He's just
Taking pieces.
he can't. It's an older. It's a bus that's in a junkyard, and he can't sell it to me because he doesn't have the title to it. So I got to wait for
Oh.
him to
Do that.
acquire the title
Right.
and go through the title registration and all
So
that
you're
kind
gonna
of
have
stuff.
like a Frankenbus.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the name. We just named it Frankenbus. So when
Well-
you gonna wrap this?
I
You're thinking about it.
I am thinking about it, but I don't know that I'm going to wrap it. Again, I haven't priced out wrap on it. What
Partial
I've priced
wrap?
out is window coverings.
Okay.
They have some vinyl that you can put on a window. They call it 50-50 vinyl, and
Right.
it's 50-50 because it's 50% vinyl and 50% holes in the vinyl.
Yep.
And so it just kind of, when you're looking out from the inside, you can see out easily. But when you're looking, you don't see the
Inside.
You don't see the vinyl when you're looking out. But when you're looking in, all you see is the vinyl. You don't
vinyl,
necessarily
yep.
see the holes. So I've priced that out, and I might do that just on the windows to begin with. I think that's a better option than wrapping it because I kind of like. I don't know.
You like that?
that clean look.
I like that clean look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
So can you logo the 50-50?
Yeah, you can put
So
logos on
what,
the
you're angling for something here. You're
No,
trying
I'm
to
just
get
curious
some
what he's
TrailManners
gonna
on him.
Well, I mean that's a given.
That'd
I'm
be
just
pretty
trying
cool.
to figure out what he's gonna put on there.
Well, I think
Like Starry Night
I
logo?
think the race logos
Starry
need to go on
Starry
there.
Race.
Starry
Sure.
Starry,
I mean,
Starry
those
Starry Night.
That's a
a
tax
good
write
logo.
off.
those logos look pretty good.
I'm excited to see it now. The Starry. Who does your logos?
This gal in St. George, right?
Yeah, yeah. Alicia Seavey is her name.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
CV or
Starry.
Sevi?
Well,
Yes.
it's spelled Sevi, but I think it's
Sevi.
pronounced Seavey.
I think it is too.
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably know that since her kids babysit my kids, so I probably should know that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that.
She does a good job.
Actually, her name's not Seavey anymore. It's Kelly. She got
Okay.
married a couple years ago. So, yeah.
So that's easier to pronounce
Yeah,
for you.
Kelly. Yeah, I can
it's a
pronounce
little
that
bit
one
easier.
correctly.
You sure it's not Keeley?
No, it's Kelly.
Is it? Okay. I haven't seen it.
Kelly.
So what do you have?
Because
What's your grand plan for this thing? Because you talk about building it out with a bed, potentially. So what's your grand
at this point?
plan?
Again, I haven't even had it a month yet. At this point, I've got a couple of ideas of what I'd like to do in the back of it, as far as building a bed.
Oh, okay.
Where I want to build it, how high I want to build it, how removable I want it to be able to be. The other thing I've realized, and this is actually the first road trip. It's just
Breaking it in.
breaking it in.
Nice.
Yeah, and so the other thing that I realized when I went to load it up with the things that I normally take on the road when I go on the road is there's nowhere to hang clothes in it either. So I need to figure out some sort of
Right.
clothes hanging system in there, and
What
just
about-
for personal clothes, not for product clothes and
Right.
stuff like that. Because I got a
You
cycling
can stop at
clothing
IKEA
line.
on the way home and find something.
Fashion something
Yeah.
out of that.
Right.
Because
But-
it probably doesn't have the storage the bus does either. Little nooks and crannies, a little
Right.
No,
shelving.
at all.
So it's just
There's no
like
place to
empty
put
back of
your
the bus.
kids.
Yeah, like
you
milk
get
crates
so
back there.
spoiled with the Volkswagen bus, and again, some of that stuff gets taken up by tools,
Yeah.
which I don't need to carry those anymore. So that's
True.
kind of nice. But I don't need jumper cables. I don't need any of that kind of
Just
stuff.
need blue
And so,
fluid.
I think it's DEF.
DEF.
Right?
I call it
DEF,
blue
DEF,
fluid.
blue fluid.
Yeah.
I don't have
It's
any.
blue
I
fluid.
don't even know what that is yet. I know
You
that
better
at some
figure
point
it
I'm
out.
probably going to figure that
You
out.
need it. You need it in there.
I know, and I know that when you're up cold, I've got a guy that I'm friends with that owns a Sprinter that lives down in Salt Lake, and he's been talking about how his Sprinter won't even start when it's cold because I guess diesel fluid gels or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was at Smith,
don't
we
know.
bought a few of those, and so I was riding around in a new one for a while and learned all these little tricks, and that's one of them. Sometimes you have to turn the key and let it sit for a little while as it tries to warm it up before you turn the key the rest of the way. And if you don't have, and I don't know your year, but if you don't have blue fluid, it won't even start. It'll give you a warning, like, hey, you got 2 more starts till we're shutting you down.
Yeah,
bro.
the blue fluid thing is something that it gives you. I think it gives you 10 starts after it gets into a warning mode or something like that.
Yeah, so make sure you just carry that with you.
You have to,
or just never come up north.
No, you need that.
No, the
That's
DEF fluid.
different.
The DEF fluid is something with how it. The
It
emissions.
mixes, yeah,
The
mixes with the
emissions.
emissions.
And so it
Gotcha.
doesn't want you to become.
Because there was never an emissions issue with a Volkswagen, right?
Well, which one? His?
Not in 1989.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't. A newer one,
Yeah,
They're
there's a
giving
few.
you a pile of money.
Yeah, that's right.
Big piles of money
Yeah.
if you have a new one. But
That's right.
But they didn't make a bus, or I would have that one.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty. Like we can't wait to go 4-wheeling tonight.
Well, and I'm excited because it's got an air conditioner in the back, so you can, you know what I mean. So if you put the right like idling system in it, you can put an aftermarket idle in there that allows it to idle a little higher. You can sleep in the thing and run the air conditioner at night.
Wow.
Kind of like how diesels will do that. They'll idle at a rest stop, and you can sleep in it with the air conditioning running or the heater running or any of those things. So it opens up some opportunities for me to be able to go to the territory that I cover in times of the year that I normally, struggle to go down there as much because it's so dang hot in Phoenix
but you're in
July.
St. George.
You're in
It's
St.
hot down
George,
there
yeah.
too.
It's warm in St. George.
It's not warm. It's ridiculous.
It's like 10 degrees difference.
It's like
so
Satan's
beautiful
lair.
down there. So beautiful.
Satan's lair in the summertime.
That's right.
Man. I don't even
Satan's
really.
jock
But I don't
strap.
Yeah.
dude,
But I
in the
don't. But I don't
summer.
sleep in the Volkswagen in St. George, right?
I would hope not.
No.
But I hope you don't sleep in this in St. George either.
No. I got a house in St. George.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know. That's something that people have a hard time believing that I actually have a house.
I
And
believe
the
you.
wife and the kids.
I have a house and wife and kids and dogs
and God bless them all.
No.
yeah, something right, something.
So you got your new ride. You got new races. What's 2017 looking like for Turd'l the racer?
Turd'l the racer.
Not the runner, but the racer.
So 2016 was a pretty rough year.
What happened in 2016?
And not just in because Carrie Fisher died. I that was brutal at the end of the year. But
No, that was like a kick to the groin right at the
Yeah.
end. It's like 2016 sucks, but take
Princess
this.
Leia died.
Yeah,
Dude.
on your way out, have this. I'm like, I went to Maverick today. I couldn't even look at a Cinnabon. I was like, screw that, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm going over to Flying J.
I agree. Broke my heart. That girl was an amazing individual, and probably I think my favorite thing about Carrie Fisher is that she took that piece of crap Jabba the Hutt and killed him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean that's the
was
best
cool.
thing about her is she wasn't just a girl that allowed someone else to be a jerk to her. She killed him for it.
And she didn't just kiss her brother. She did a lot
Yeah.
more than that. Right? Because that happened. I mean, let's figure
She
that
did
out
kiss her
before
brother,
they
didn't
change
she?
the storyline.
She totally kissed
Right,
her brother.
right.
You know
You're
what my
right.
favorite Princess Leia story is? My daughter, my youngest, she dressed up as Princess Leia. We went to Comic-Con here in Salt Lake City a couple years ago and got our picture taken with Carrie Fisher. My daughter walks in dressed as Princess Leia, and Carrie Fisher, she's been there all day taking photos with people. She had her dog with her, and she looked at my daughter and says, "You're the most beautiful Princess Leia." And that was it. That was it. From there on, she's my favorite person in the world because it
Right.
brought a smile to my daughter's face.
I think you posted part of that picture on.
Yeah, because
on-
my wife and
you
family
cut
was
it
in
out
it,
of
and they
there,
didn't
right?
want
You
to
cut
be
it
in
out
it.
of there.
Yeah, they didn't want to be in it.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want to see that on there. I'm like, well, it's gonna be me and her then. That's gonna look creepy because I'm like kind of behind, like stalking a little bit. But, hey,
did
you
look
do what
kinda
you got.
creepy,
You got to
actually,
do
but
what you got to do. But yeah, in the lower corner, my daughter was dressed as Princess Leia, and she was super.
So the
super
next
nice.
time you have an opportunity to take a picture with your daughter with a celebrity that she's dressed up like, you need to tell your wife to get out of the picture so you can post it on Facebook when that lady dies.
No, that's all
Is
right.
that the- is that
Well,
the s- is that
no,
the
because
moral
I don't want to
story
be any more photos with people that pass away. That's scary.
True.
Because it's sad. It's framed in our house.
Yeah.
And it's scary. So let's get off the.
Anyway,
you
so
brought that up. Thanks a lot,
2016 was a
Turd'l.
brutal year. I had a DNF at Wasatch, which
That's a 100-mile race, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That, but I physically I wasn't ready for Wasatch. It was. I kind of realized on that first climb that I wasn't ready for it, and I knew, but that first climb was brutal. That first climb,
It's a little harder this year, isn't it?
suck in northern Utah. That
Yeah.
is a brutal.
Yeah, and it's pretty,
Brutal, but
pretty
I mean,
far into the course, though.
pre-climbed it.
Yeah, it's
I'd
pretty far.
pre-climbed it, and I knew that was a brutal climb. But I just
Just get in the race environment and everything changes.
And it's so
doesn't
far into the race that it takes a lot out of
it's
you.
like
Far
200 yards,
it? Yeah.
dude. Brutal.
So
You know,
200 yards
and I
into
top-
Wasatch, you're like, I'm not ready for
And
this.
like,
I
I'm
top
done.
out, and I realize I'm already in like last place, right? Right, and I'm just like, crap. So and from there, I realized how far I was behind. Even though I was ahead of the time splits that I'd set for myself at that point, I just kind of felt way behind the 8 ball. And every time I got to an aid station, I got a little bit closer and a little bit closer to those time splits, and a little bit further and further away from where I wanted to be, and realized that I wasn't going the speed that I wanted to be. And part of that was, I'd done the vert, I'd done the runs. What I hadn't done was paid attention to my fat ass, and it got
That's
fatter
important.
and
Yeah, that's
bigger.
important.
And I went into the race weighing 200 pounds, whereas the last time I ran Wasatch, I weighed 150. So
Oh my
Cow.
goodness.
That's a huge difference.
yeah,
That's a big
it's a
difference.
little bit of a difference there. So
like carrying two
what
big old
happened?
turkeys.
Really? How long ago was that?
2010.
150.
2010. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Dude.
Before I ran,
Joel's
come on
face,
now.
Joel's face is looking
had-
at him like 150.
Yeah, but 3 years before I ran Wasatch, I was 230. So I feel like I've still got that.
What's going on?
I'm just
Do
a
we need
fat
to have a
guy.
talk
I'm
off
a fat
mic?
guy in a body. I'm a fat guy in a body.
Why are you yo-yoing so much?
He buys a pair of boxers, and it's a nice pair of boxers at 150.
Yeah.
And it is his thong at 200.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Joel's super concerned for you right now. Like
Dude, cut that crap
me
out.
and Joel fluctuate like the 10 to maybe 20 pound. I do 20-pound range,
Right.
but you were talking 50
Well,
to
I
80.
50
got
pounds.
I
Well,
got
he said
pretty serious at
230.
230, and I looked at it and I said, "That's too much, right?" And so I got
okay.
So I dropped
At
down. but I got-
180, it wasn't like a warning sign.
No, it wasn't. I'm still over 180. So.
Dude.
Yeah, but you were 150 to 180. You're talking
that's
150,
30 pounds, man.
150 to 230.
That's like
80 pounds.
4 different pairs of pants you got to buy along
right.
your way.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely
Let's see,
right.
150 to 230. That's 80 pounds. That's like a 7th grader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Right. So I've got one of those bodies that every once in a while I throw weight on it. Right. I mean,
No, you
gotta-
don't.
My senior year of high school, I wrestled 98 pounds.
That was
98 pounds.
That's because you were a senior in high school. Nutrition wasn't
But
so
I'm
good
just
back
as
then.
tall now as I was then, and so now
Yeah.
I'm, right.
How much is that
So
mustache?
you're,
Wait,
100,
wait.
you're
All right.
130. Yeah, that mustache adds another pound. But you
His
lost all your
mustache.
damn
Right.
hair,
His
so that
mustache.
kind of like zeros it out.
Well, if you're
in
going to
high
drive
school,
a creeper
I
man, you got to have a
wrestled-
creeper mustache,
I
right?
wrestled
Brian
98
Tolbert.
in high
Yeah,
school.
yeah, the power stash.
Okay, so back to Wasatch, right? Isn't that where we were talking?
I'm just still liking your comment. I wrestled 98.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how much did you weigh?
All right. So at Wasatch, I that extra weight, what that does is it makes it so that you have a really hard time climbing, right?
No kidding.
Duh. And not only do you have a hard time climbing, but you have a hard time eating enough food to keep your fat ass moving, right? I wish we had a Facebook Live video
I
of
can't stop laughing.
Manners is dying
I
over
can see-
here.
He is.
I can see him climbing that climb, going, my arm's starting to tingle.
Yeah. He's up there looking for the freaking Krispy
It was
Kreme on
bad.
top.
It was bad.
I'm feeling a little peckish. I dropped below 200.
Someone passed the turkey.
So every time I pulled into an aid station, well, moving on.
Yeah.
Every time I pulled into an aid station, I realized it was getting closer and closer to the cutoff time, and
Right.
and honestly, I every time I left one, I didn't think I was going to make the next aid station cutoff, and I didn't think I was going to make it. Didn't think I was going to make it. Didn't think I was going to make it. So, and I pulled into Lambs, and I was 45 minutes ahead of that cutoff. It really wasn't the next aid station I was worried about. It was Brighton that I
Yeah.
was worried about, and I
Yeah.
just kind of, because I knew when I'd done Wasatch in 2010, it was between Upper
Big water.
Mill Creek,
Yeah, upper big water.
Upper Big Water at Mill Creek, and Brighton, where I really fell apart. I had such a brutal time,
Yep.
and so
Deso area.
That
yeah,
desert
right
is hard.
on the way to Deso, between Dog Lake and Deso,
Yeah.
is where I just lost it, and
That's
just,
a hard spot.
It was a brutal climb,
Right.
from Elbow Fork or whatever that fork is down there. It killed me, it destroyed me, and so
Right.
I just But again, I came out of there feeling okay and picked up a pacer at that point and thought, okay, I can do okay. I think I can make Mill Creek, but
Right.
after that, it's gonna be something fierce. And so, but then I started the climb up Bear Ass Pass and just, I got near the top and I couldn't climb and I
Right.
just kind of, and then coming down the other side, I thought, oh, I'll be able to run, and I couldn't run down the other side either. So I missed the cutoff at Upper Biggerwater and just DNF sucks.
We'll have to show on that for sure.
DNF sucks
No
straight
matter,
up.
No matter.
They're frustrating.
Yeah. No matter what.
No
matter if you're not in shape.
You put
or
all
in
the
shape.
effort in climbing, training, and that's what you're left
Yeah,
with.
trying to get ready, and whether you think you're ready or whether you don't think you're ready, you still show up at the start line because
Right.
DNF beats the crap out of DNS all day long, right?
That's true.
But it's still the goal that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. When you sent your application into Wasatch, and we're really excited about getting both your names drawn at the drawing. By the way, that was really kind of cool that they drew both my names. And then
Turd'l and
then DNF.
Miller and Jared and Miller.
Yeah, right. They actually pulled my wife's name, Melissa Schmidt,
Wow.
and I was like, "Wow, Melissa Schmidt! What? She signed up under her middle name or maiden name?" And I guess there's actually a Melissa Schmidt that ran Wasatch
Right
this
on.
year. I don't know who she is, but I think it's pretty cool that my wife ran Wasatch.
Yeah. She probably finished.
Yeah.
She did.
She
did.
You'll have
She
to
did.
throw that in there.
I stalked her.
Probably
She finished.
Yeah.
She's crushing it.
That boy.
So you put in for Wasatch this
So
year.
so the Wasatch has been submitted. I got an email the other day that they got my check. So now all they're waiting for me is for me to show up on lottery day
Right.
and follow the Dana Miller training plan about how to get into Wasatch and
Yeah, I
have
saw that.
my crew show up, and which Dana Miller was my crew. So I think I can count on Dana, Bud and Guts Miller to show up at the drawing and say, "Oh shit!" every time my name's not drawn. By the way, we're going for an explicit rating on this.
I think you
show.
nailed it. Yeah, I think my
I think,
stomach still hurts.
I think that's okay.
My stomach still hurts from the laughter. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Stitches are brutal, aren't they?
Man, I'll tell you.
I'm gonna get we're gonna get the weights out, the rowing machine out. We're gonna get his ass going.
Oh my gosh! I guess I'm just like I'm still paralyzed by what just
Tingling.
happened.
Your fingers are
so,
tingling.
So Wasatch, if you get in,
So what?
is your
Yeah,
creme
you're
de
gonna-
la creme. This is
Well,
my.
no.
this
So
is
let's
your
back.
race.
If you get in, you're sitting at 200 right now. We gotta get to the 180.
Well,
at
I'm at
least.
190. So
Okay.
I've dropped 10 pounds
All right,
since
let's
then.
get to the
and
175 at least.
I think I can get to 150.
Holy
What? How
mackerel.
tall are you?
5'10".
150?
I can get to 150.
How can you get to 150?
It won't be a problem.
Are you-
To me, it's not
Dude,
exercise. It's diet.
Your
It's
quads weigh 50 pounds each.
pure diet.
Are you
That's
gonna
all it
cut
is
an
for me.
arm off?
Exactly. You and I talked about that before.
I can run 100 miles a day and I'll still gain weight if I don't pay attention to my diet.
That's
all I have
true.
to do is I don't have to run at all, and I pay attention to my diet and I'll drop weight.
I
That's-
believe
that's
that.
what it
That's
works-
the
it's
good
what
part
works for
about
me.
being a dude. If you pay attention to your diet, you're gonna lose weight.
Right.
So you want to get to 150.
Yeah, 150. And so the plan
Damn,
this
that means
year.
I gotta get to 135
I'm not even.
because I gotta look svelte
I'm
next
not-
to him.
Spelt's our word for the year, by the way.
It is.
So you're part of that svelte
Svelte.
hashtag now.
Svelte.
If you're going to 150, you're going to be svelte.
Yeah,
You'll be
Hashtag
svelter
is that
than
what
I
it
will
is?
be.
SV?
it is.
Yeah, it is a V.
SVELDT?
No, just a
No
T
T.
E.
I think there's a T.
I just do SVELTE.
Svelte?
No, don't do that.
That's French,
There's
right?
No need to do
Svelte?
that.
Yo, what do you got to ruin my stuff, man?
I'm just wondering how to spell it. I don't want to screw it up.
You're making fun of it now.
Svelte.
You're in trouble. Okay, so you're going to be
So
150.
the 2017 plan.
Dude, really? 150?
Yeah. The
dang.
2017 plan is I'm gonna go.
That's why you're not drinking your beer right now, huh?
Well,
That and it's an IPA.
no, but it's my second IPA, so I've actually finished an IPA. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's not bad for an IPA.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's no Mexican domestic. But
No, one of these days when you grow
Mexican
up,
lager.
you'll appreciate fine
yeah.
beer.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. I'm just.
Okay,
I'm just,
so back to 150, Wasatch.
Right, but Wasatch is only part of the plan this year. So
Right.
what I've got going on, an early season race. I'm going to do an early season race, whether it ends up being Black Canyon or whether I end up coming up and doing Rufa. I'm probably going to come up and do at least a few laps on Rufa. I'm going to sign up for the 24-hour version just because I think the Rufa part of it is the important part and not the
mileage,
competition and the mileage.
Yep.
But I
It's not a
don't know
race.
that I'm going to come up here and do 24. I don't know that I'm going to do 24 hours.
No,
I'll
you-
sign up for 24 hours
Your
and
quads
pay
look
for
big,
24 hours
but
just so
they're
that
not ready for that.
just to give the extra money to Rufa because
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
clean air down there,
It's
you want to
boring.
talk about suck it Northern Utah, that air down there can suck it Northern
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Right now
You
it's
know?
really good.
Yeah, it's phenomenal
tasty.
up there.
It's
Yeah.
tasty. Just throw
Good.
some.
I'm glad they cleared that out for outdoor retailers. So
Nobody
nobody
knows.
knows, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just throw some Cholula on it. And you can eat
Brutal.
that air when it gets bad.
Brutal. So anyway, so I'm going to come up and participate in Rufa. I came up last year and helped out a little bit at the aid station with Rock and Catherine there at the end. Watched Jenny Lynn and I think Jenny Lynn and Jared were the only two that were continuing
Right.
at that point.
They're
But
duking it out.
it was fun to watch those guys come in and Jared Campbell's the most amazing guy I've ever seen on the planet. That just comes in there, and I know he's just miserable. I mean, because I'm miserable sitting in an aid station where it's cold and wet and
Right.
sloppy, and he comes in with the biggest smile and, "Hey, Turd'l, how's it going?" And I'm just like, first of all, Jared Campbell knows my name. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Jared Campbell knows my name. You know what I mean? But to have him come in, and he's the air quotes a race director, right? And he's running the race, and I know he's miserable because he's running for 20 hours at this point, and he still comes
Right.
in with a smile on his
Yeah.
face. And
That's
it was
just him, though, in general.
He's such a cool guy, and
Yeah.
I can see why he can keep his mental attitude good when he's at Barkley, because I'm telling you, I get grumpy after a while, and to watch him continue to have a smile on his face at that event was cool. So anyway, I want to come up and do a couple laps, there.
Right.
I'd also like to do Black Canyon again, but I don't know for sure that it's going to work with my schedule. I won't know until that weekend. So I'll probably run. I may run Black Canyon again. That's a Western States qualifier. I like it because you get a Western States qualifier out of the way early in the year. But I also realized that last year, having my Western States qualifier out of the year was one of the reasons I was able to feel okay about dropping out of Wasatch and not finishing Wasatch, because I already had my Western States qualifier,
Right.
and I didn't need a hard rock, so I was like, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
If I get a Western States qualifier, I still need a hard rock qualifier this year, but
True.
Because
anyway,
Black Canyon's in February, so that
Right.
gives you from
It's like
February
a
to
month
September.
from now.
right. So the plan is, whether I run Black Canyon or not, is I'm going to go back to all of the races that I've DNF'd in the past. Squaw Peak was the first 50 mile I ever ran, and the first time I ran it, I DNF'd it.
Right.
I've gone back and finished that 7 times since then. It's a great race. Love that race. I want to get 10 finishes in that before I decide to go run Luke's Pocatello race. and I'm telling you, Scout Mountain looks amazing.
It is.
And if he would quit running it the same weekend as Bothung, I'd probably run it this year. But
Just run
you'll have to
fast.
work on him later, right?
Yeah.
Just run fast.
Just run fast.
Right. So, and I got to tell you, listen to that Campbell interview talking about Latoja and
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it was the same day, right?
Yeah.
And then when he dropped that, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. I might do that. And then I realized the same day, I was like, oh snap, there's no.
There's very few people
There-
that could even get
Right.
to the start.
Like to
line
think to
loaded yet.
themselves, oh, that's something I could accomplish, right?
Yeah.
Not like, oh, that's like I think to myself, that sounds kind of fun, like a week apart.
No. Same day.
But no, same day. Hell no. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
It's just
I don't think
Jerry.
people
What the hell is
understand
wrong with
what he was
him?
trying
You know,
to do.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
he's.
I remember
that's
that
crazy
year.
right there to do that.
So okay, so anyway, so I'll run Squaw Peak, and then we'll run Carl's race too.
Speed go.
Because it could be last year.
Because I've DNF'd Speed Goat twice. I've actually never
Oh.
finished Speed
Oh,
Goat, and it's Speed. I needed to take a year off from Speed Goat because I ran it.
We've taken
We've taken
2 or 3 years off.
I
now.
ran it 3 years ago, and I went through the stages of grief at the end of that race because it was first denial, then it was anger, and then it was, whatever comes after that, and I finally come to the point where I accept it, but I'm still pissed off because it's just, I feel like I got robbed. I need to go back and I'm pissed off
need to
enough
get
that I
your
can finish
finish.
that race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went back the following year. I wasn't irritated enough about it, and I basically dropped at the peak because I just thought, I'm going to go home and spend time with my wife and kids, right? Literally, that's what I thought at the peak. I was like,
I'm gonna take the tram down.
I'm going to take the tram down, and this is fine. I don't need to go run down
You're
into
like,
that basement
screw
and
this,
go
I
see-
am done.
I don't need to go see Rock Horton down there. I like the guy, but I'm okay with not going and seeing him because I don't think I'm going to make it back up, and I'm going to miss that cutoff again. So I'm not going to do this again. So anyway, so I'll do those 2 races, and
Those are good prep, though. I mean,
are good
they're
prep
prep
for
for
Wasatch.
Wasatch.
If
I
you
mean, it's
can.
good
and
races.
if I can show up and lick John's fingers and get him to pull a good number out of the
Where are we going here? Hurry
Well,
up,
that
finish
was
this
a
sentence.
really-
At the Wasatch Lottery,
Okay.
if I can lick John's fingers
I know
and
where
get
he
him
was
to pull
going
my
with that
ball out of
visual.
it, right, then we're good.
So let me ask you this then. What happens
gosh.
if you don't get into Wasatch? Is there any inkling in your
plan
mind
B?
if you don't?
Me
Is
go
there
to
a-
Yeah, Run
Javelina.
Rabbit. If I don't get into Wasatch, I'll Run Rabbit.
Oh, will you? Right.
Run Rabbit's the same weekend as Wasatch.
Yep.
And it's the last 100-miler that I finished. I love that race. I had a great time with that race. They moved it forward 2 weeks this year, which means I don't know that the finish is going to be quite as cool because the last time I ran it, it
the
ended
colors
at
and stuff.
Oktoberfest.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Right, to finish a race at Oktoberfest.
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
cool.
That was a fun race, and based on the speed that I run a 100-miler at, it sets up good because in the middle of the night when I'm not doing very well, I'm basically running for 7 miles or 11 miles down a road, and a dirt road that just gives you the ability to keep moving and not be sleepy. And I had no issues with sleep demons at all at that race, and I had so much fun that I'd like to go back and do that race again, but I got to.
So you've got your plan B, but you're hoping
Got a
for
plan B, yeah.
Wasatch.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So me and Joel, since you said all this, we're gonna hold you because you'll get drawn out in what's February, what is it,
4th.
2nd, 4th, something like that. February 4th, the Wasatch Lottery. We'll hold you accountable all year.
Okay.
If you get in, yeah.
Yeah, we could do the Turd'l Miller check-in
Okay,
too.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Like the check-in, we could check in like.
right.
I can send
Once
you
a month.
pictures with my scale. I don't have to be on it, right? I mean, you don't have to see me.
Dude,
on
we're gonna
it.
weigh. I got a scale here in the gym. We're gonna weigh your ass in before you leave.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
follow
gonna put
you.
you're gonna be up on one of the whiteboards in
Do
the
I have
gym.
to get naked
Oh,
for
that's
it?
awesome.
No, please don't.
No, we don't. Need
We don't
that.
need to go there.
Yeah, we're
Good,
good.
'cause it's cold in here. You
Yeah,
guys
it's
got puppies
cold.
on.
Yeah.
You guys got puppies on.
I'm toasty. We're
I'm
in.
feeling pretty
So
good.
yeah,
We can
we'll
see
do
you're
that.
cold
We'll
right now.
call it something. We got to come up with a cool name like Track and Turtle or Track the Turtle or something like that. Turtle
Come
Tracker.
up with a hashtag, right?
Turtle Tracker.
Turtle tracker.
I like that hashtag Turtle Tracker. So all our listeners can follow you along because we're going to hold you accountable
Okay,
because we want you to hit that start line at
Dude, I'm gonna say 175. Would be
150.
150. Seems like you won't have energy to like
Oh no,
pull your shorts up.
150 is amazing.
Pull shorts.
150 is
Are you gonna
You're
amazing.
gonna have to get some new shorts.
I was going to say that you're going to have to get some new apparel. Is Scott going to hook you up with some apparel?
I probably have a way to get some clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have wait a minute? Do they have like running shorts? I thought they just had all compression fast stuff.
Scott. Yeah, no, they've got a running apparel line.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't know. I mean, because we haven't got anything. To
I heard
try
they have
yet.
cool shoes too.
I heard they have cool shoes too.
We saw
Actually
some
haven't
at-
got a
We
pair
saw
yet.
some.
OR in
that
August.
black and the
Yeah.
neon green one. That
Yeah,
was
those are
kinda
pretty
fast.
With the cool new traction.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was
Super
pretty
Track
cool.
RC is what that's called.
Super Track RC.
see, we wouldn't know.
They're,
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
I
They're
RC. I, was
I
thinking
got
like
some
RC
Innovates on
Cola.
right now. They're really comfortable.
I got some East Lakes.
Yeah.
You got some. You got some.
You got some
Scots.
old
I got some
Scots. that you got from
3-year-old
the-
Scott
from the DI.
hiking boots.
with some
They're
maroon
right
dress
on.
socks.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are burgundy, by the way. Burgundy.
Okay, my bad, Ron. Okay, so we're going to do the Turtle Tracker.
Yeah.
So we're going to follow you because we
Right.
think you'll get in. I think there'll be a way that you'll end up.
Probably.
I don't know what the ratio is anymore.
Oh.
I know people like a friend of ours, Curtis Thompson. He hasn't got drawn the last 2 years. That's weird
It's
to me.
true. Yeah.
Really?
Right, 'cause
I
it
thought
seems
that
like
was
the
only
odds-
a 2-year thing. Like he had to get in that second year.
No, he didn't get in the last 2 years because
Oh.
he's really hoping to get in this year.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't know the right people. Maybe he needs to lick John's fingers.
Oh,
Nah.
dude, that's just the
I don't think
visual
Kurt-
that I don't want to see.
I think
Why you
I
gotta
think
keep
I
saying
think that I think that's all good. Not
Hashtag
doing
lick,
that.
lick John's fingers. That's what it is. It's
No,
the
I
new
think
one.
I don't think we'll do that one.
Yeah.
Turtle's writing it down right now with his
He
new
is.
space pen that's in
Dude.
his wallet.
I usually don't get uncomfortable, but for some reason that makes me uncomfortable.
Joel's looking away. He's kind of. We're on.
Wow.
See, that's how do you like our
Yeah,
furniture? How do you like our furniture?
Dude, this, yeah, right. Top Gun, Pearl Izumi. These are amazing chairs we're sitting on here.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's box.
What does it say? Rogue?
Yeah, Rogue.
Have
From
you
Rogue
ever-
Fitness.
You got to jump. They're for box jumps and
Yeah,
stuff.
box jumps, lunges,
Plyometrics,
yeah.
lunges.
Good fun.
We'll get you hooked up on a couple on your way out.
Teach me how to
Box jump.
plyometric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next time you're in town, we will.
All right.
Yeah. As soon as you finish that
I'm
IPA.
glad I can finally get the Bomber Studios experience.
Isn't
by the
this
way.
an experience? Because you've
It's
been in
amazing.
all our studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both our studios you've been in.
Right. What is going on with the bus? I'm interested.
parked.
We can talk about this offline, but if you want to tell the listeners,
It's just parked. So basically, it stutters. Like when you shift, it kind of it's almost not getting fuel. And so,
so
we
it's
had
not a transmission issue. It's
No,
it's
fuel
an
line
air
issue.
issue or a fuel line issue or what?
What we're thinking is it needs a new gas tank. There's so much rust buildup in it that it's plugging the lines. Because we
Okay.
had some work done on it before that, and it ran like a
Champ. It was
like
good.
ridiculous.
Have you changed the fuel filter?
Yeah, that was they changed the fuel filter, fuel pump right before that, ran great, and then it started doing it again. So, but my guy, but it's been there since the end of September.
Yeah,
the weekend after the Bear.
I don't know that I would call him your guy if it's been there that long.
Yeah, I like him though. I can't help it. He's a nice guy.
He's a new guy.
I need someone just to fix my bus, man. I forget I have one.
It's been there for 4 months.
I look at logos and I'm like, man, it'd be cool to have I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a sad story, but it's still Studio 78, right? But it's good though because this time of year it'd be tough to be in anyway.
Oh,
it's a little bit warmer in
it's
the Bomber
just
Studios.
a touch warmer than the Bomber Studio.
Usually we got a couple puffies on when we're in Studio 78. Yeah, so it's a little bit different.
Cuddling under the blanket.
Yeah, that's why you got the spoons. Yeah, not under the blanket. Nope. Everything's hands above the blanket, please.
You say yeah.
So 2017, we're going to be tracking Turd'l.
That's right.
And so
Keeping
we're going to be
accountable.
We're going to hold you accountable. So you're lucky. We're not going to charge you. We're like your personal coaches to hold you accountable.
Perfect.
Joel's going to send you some workouts.
Do you know that's
like
my favorite four-letter F word?
What?
Free.
Free. Yeah.
Free.
That doesn't
That's my
surprise
favorite four-letter
It's
word.
not going to come
surprise me.
free.
Free.
There's going to be a lot of pain and suffering on your part.
That doesn't surprise me. All right. Well, God, I think we lost all our listeners about 30 minutes ago. So if you're still remaining,
exactly.
Wake up, push stop. 3 times, man. You're our first one to 3.
I appreciate it, man.
So
it's always fun to come up and see you guys.
Well, it's not your last time. You're kind of be a regular.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially leading up to Wasatch, he'll be at least a monthly.
Because we want to check in, start checking in with Jeff Hart because we're going to follow him through Hard Rock. His first ever Hard Rock. He's been in Hawaii, so don't want to mess with him while he's over there snorkeling. But the cool thing is he's always wearing his TrailManners visor in Hawaii. So it's super cool.
Why is he in Hawaii? Did he go over there for hurt or just?
No, I think he went over there.
Plan.
The last one I saw, I think he's over there for work. He works at Western Washington University now. He used to work down at in Cedar, one of the universities down there, and then he moved to Western Washington. So he's up in Bellingham, and I think he went over there for work or something.
Okay.
But work trip to Hawaii, add some days there. So we can do that. But it'd be fun to follow you to 150.
Yeah, the Turd'l 150. I like that.
I like that Turd'l 150.
You
I like the
You can never
ambition.
reach your goal if you don't set it high, right?
I love it. Hey, I love it.
Right.
What is it? If your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Something like that.
Right. So man, hats off to you. I haven't seen 150 for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't wrestle, so I didn't ever weigh myself.
I wasn't really that good at wrestling either. Two dudes rolling around in tights wasn't my thing.
Really?
No.
Oh, you should come up here on Wednesday nights.
We lose the puppies. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. So you're a
keep
day
the
early.
puppies on, but
You're a day early. You're a day early. All right. So we'll track you. We'll follow you, and we'll make sure people look for the Starry Night race run.
Yeah.
As well as the Capstone, which I'm not kidding. That's why I texted you like a week ago because I'm interested in coming down for the Capstone.
Very cool.
I think that'd be a fun way to end the year because I'm also looking at Javelina though. I'm not. That's kind of my.
He is looking at Javelina.
I have been looking at it hard.
Javelina is a fun race.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, Javelina it's amazing. There's no other way to describe it than it is the most amazing race
I've never heard anything negative about it for sure. And it's just one of those, bucket type races. And then Joel texted me today and said Red Mountain 50K. That's all the text message said, which is again down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Red Mountain 50K was actually where I met Dana Miller on the bus ride to the Red Mountain 50K the first time I ran it.
Nice.
Yeah. I got to sit next to the guy.
That's awesome.
It's like, wait a minute, he goes, hi, I'm Dana. I was like, I know who you are.
Yeah. It's like somebody coming up.
I know who you are.
I know who you are.
It was,
Turtle pulls his wallet out. Yeah, I know who
Red
you
Mountain
are. You're in my
50K.
wallet.
Red Mountain 50K is a race that has gone through a lot of course changes.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But he's got it nailed down, though,
completely positive course changes. That's the one thing I hated about it is that the first
they took a year or two off every once
they
in a while.
did. They did.
Okay.
The first 12, I think it's the first 19 miles were on like a dirt road.
Right.
The first,
That's
the
what I
first
told
one,
Joel.
and then the last 12. It was either 12 and 19 or 19 and 12. But the last half or the last section of it was all on a paved road, and it just
See, that's what I remember when
But
Joel
it's not
said
that way
that.
anymore.
No.
It's like
It's all loops in the Santa Clara Reserve down in
But
St.
it's
George.
all different. Every loop is different.
Every loop is different. Right.
Yeah.
Every single
You
loop is
might
different.
have me sold on this already now.
And I got to tell you, when it comes to aid stations, the lady that runs those aid stations is dialed.
Is she?
Yeah, her
I
name's
like
Melissa Schmidt Miller.
Oh, okay.
Any relation?
Okay.
So my wife's the executive director for Girls on the Run in Southern Utah, and they do that they do that aid station is the way that
Giving
they allow
back
their
and-
kids to allow the girls to come out and participate and see an aid station and just kind of as a way to give back to the community, give
That's
back
awesome.
to
That's
give
cool.
back to
That
their
might have
local
moved
running
up on my
community.
list more, just the whole description, because that
Right.
was what I was concerned about when Joel texted it to me. I remember hearing the road stuff, and that's not
Right.
my game.
No, that
But that's
it-
March 4th, so that'd be
Yeah.
a good excuse to get out of Dodge for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a really really fun race. It really
Nice.
is.
Might
Yep.
have to. All right. Joel might have me talked into that now. So
Yeah, that Santa Clara River Reserve it's a fun place to run. I've run a lot of races out there. I've run a lot of loops out there. There's a bunch of different trails, and Steve hits every single one of them when he puts that race on. And
So that's the
it's a
guy
lot of
that
fun.
runs St. George Running Company.
Yeah,
right,
Steve Hooper at the St. George Running Center puts that race on and does a really good job with it for
Okay.
sure.
Right on. All right. Well, yeah, you might see us sooner than later.
That's right.
Especially since we got to keep tabs on you.
I know.
You might just show up.
I'll
every
drag the
once in a while.
scale down there.
Well, I
Weighs by
hope
then.
at that point I'll have the Volkswagen bus parked back in the driveway, and then maybe you can stay in it.
That'd be fun.
I can sleep under it even too,
Yeah.
so I'm
You're
okay with
really
that.
good at that.
Throw you under the bus.
I sleep
Yeah.
under cars all the time. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal. It's kind of my
We
MO
call
now.
it the stabbing cabin when it's kind of out on the side of
I'll
the
just
house.
I'll just sleep under it then. That'll work. Yeah, we don't need to hashtag that one. So yeah, keep your eyes open for the Capstone. We always like to support Turd'l and everything he does. He's always a great friend of the show, and as we mentioned, he'll probably be kind of a regular because it's kind of always nice to get together with him.
It's
But
fun.
Yep.
when he does bring tacos, kind of moves him down the list. So we kind of put him back and see
True.
who else we can find to fill the slots before he comes back on. So, what's your favorite number?
My favorite number?
Yeah.
69.
I don't even know why you. Even
Well, because I
answered
was
that.
born in 1969.
Okay.
Why would you think that was my
Well,
favorite number?
I was born in '71. That's not my favorite
Well,
number.
that's your problem.
So we are having him on again, you think? Or- I can't remember. I can't remember
It's
what
my
you just
favorite
said.
number.
I believe you, kind of.
Not really.
You know what the
really.
square root of 69 is?
69.
It's 8 something.
It's 8 something.
So you don't know either.
Square root of 69 is 8 something.
8 something.
No.
It is. Look
Okay.
at it. Like, do it on your computer. 69 square root 8 point. It's 8 something.
When was
Okay,
the
so
last?
what is
the
that?
rest of it is.
Where are
When
we
was the
going with
last time
this?
you did the square root of anything? Let's be honest.
I didn't even.
Does my
I don't think calculators do that anymore
my
because it's kind of
calculator
like
have that?
not needed anymore. Square
8
root.
something.
Well, why would that come up?
It's just 8 something.
Okay. So what's
'Cause we were
69
talking about
divided by
tacos.
3? So what does tacos mean with that?
You get to eat something when you have tacos. You eat something, right?
So the square root of 69 is you ate something.
It's
You ate.
point, right? 8. It's 8.
like-
I don't know
So,
what the other numbers
so it's
are,
been
but
great
it's 8
having
something.
Turd'l on the show for his last time. He's been a great guest the first 3 times we've had him on. We're gonna miss him, and we sure hope he gets to 250 by Wasatch.
He's gonna be eating all those tacos.
That's right. I'm gonna sign you up for the Eclair of the Month Club,
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
Cinnabon of the Month Club.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, good luck down at OR.
Yeah.
Working and
Thanks.
hanging out with all the people that we
All the
enjoy
peeps.
hanging out with.
That's a lot of fun.
Next time you come up, bring a puffy.
Yeah.
Bring a box of tacos, a box of
Okay.
tacos. And if there's anything we can do on our end, again, check out Starry Night when it gets ready to go, Capstone when it gets ready to go.
Yep.
And just when you see him at a race, just walk up to him and say, "Hey, are you Turd'l Miller?"
Yeah.
That would make our day.
I heard you on TrailManners.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we know they've heard of that one. It's just the turtle
right.
thing. We're getting you out there, is what we're doing.
I appreciate-
We're your
I appreciate
team.
everything you're
We're
doing,
your
right.
PR team. So, all right, thanks for joining us. Thanks for bringing up your new rig. It's fancy. Can't wait to see you get it all decked out. And then who knows? Who knows when we're going to see you next? But nice seeing you. Enjoy Salt Lake City.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the TrailManners podcast. We'd like to thank Turd'l Miller for coming back for his 3rd and possibly final time on the show. And for those of you that are still listening, thank you for enduring that long, grueling podcast. We also want to encourage everybody to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at TrailManners, or swing by our website at trailmanners.com. There you can check out our store page for some gear, or you can hit us up on the contact page and let us know who you want to hear, or if you want to be on the show. So until next time, this is Eric Manning with Joel Hatch reminding you, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. Now go get it.